When Mark Carney says this,
a Zionist, if you will, Palestinian state that recognizes the right of Israel to exist, not just to exist, but to prosper and not live in fear.
he reminds me yet again of the links that exist between the Black experience and the Palestinian experience. Because look at the way that he uses the word fear. He's stating that the Palestinians will only be able to prosper as a state once Israelis do not fear them. And he's saying this whilst they are carrying out a genocide in Gaza, they're carrying out ethnic cleansing and genocide in the West Bank, they're attacking Syria and Lebanon and now Iran. But the potential hundreds of thousands of deaths, the killing of journalists, of children, of healthcare workers, the destruction of basic infrastructure, historical records, schools, universities, none of this seems to pale in comparison to the value that he gives to the emotional stability of Israelis. He's not the only person to have this twisted hierarchy of empathy that puts the feelings of Israelis above the reality of the people who live under their oppression. Never once asking what Israelis are doing to Palestinians that makes them fear such a backlash. And what does that have to do with specifically the Black American experience? Meet Rebecca Latimer Felton, the first female US senator and pioneer of white women's rights in the United States. She was also a virulent advocate of lynchings of black men for the protection of white women's virtues. I think a part of her direct quote is "lynch 1,000 times a week." And she was playing on a trope, of course. The hypersexualization of black men and the fear of an oppressive class that enslaved them and then subjected them to further oppression upon liberation, including disenfranchisement, exploitation, killing. Not for anything that actually happened, mind you, because, like with Israelis, slave owners and their descendants, Southern segregationists, every accusation was a confession. But because of the privileging of the fear of the oppressors rather than the reality of the oppressed. And if you think that this might be to an extreme association, I recommend that you read the book by Ta-Nehisi Coates, The Message, in which he makes this case much better than I will ever be able to do.